Okay, welcome back everybody again to another finally Let's Read. We haven't done this in a while, but I haven't been able to. I've been quite busy. That's a text coming in on my phone. But while the baby's asleep, I decided I would read another chapter to y'all of our book we're reading. And I'm so sorry that it's taken so long for me to get back to it. But remember, we left off with reading the end of all of chapter 3. And at the end it was talking about, I guess he was a police, is that right? He had checked out and he came back and let them know that, yeah, it was a dead body, and all the kids were right there and they heard him say that. And then the mama couldn't hear what else he said because all the kids were screaming. Okay, so that's where it left off. Alright, so now we're on chapter 4. So I'm going to read it. Alright, chapter 4. We'd had plenty of cars and vans parked in our driveway since we'd bought the house. Plumbers, electricians, carpenters, inspectors. But this was the first time we'd had multiple police cars. 2 parka-clad officers, P-A-R-K-A, clad officers, were unspooling crime tape around the house. The tape fluttered in the brisk breeze, the yellow practically glowing against the stark white of the house's stucco and the surrounding snow. The entire house, I said, watching through the kitchen window. They're going to wrap the entire house in crime scene tape? Jack poured coffee into a mug like a giant Christmas present that no one wants. Ted had made a few phone calls after inspecting the chute, and within 20 minutes it looked like every law officer in Moose River was on our property. Ted explained that the town didn't actually employ an investigator, so he'd called in for the county investigator and that he would be arriving shortly. But everyone we know, I said, shaking my head. No, I said that wrong, sorry. But everyone will know, I said, shaking my head. Pretty sure everyone knows now that our driveway is a satellite parking lot for the police department. Satellite, I don't get that anyway. He was right, of course. Our house was on the busiest street in town. We actually lived on Main Street, and there was no hiding that something was going on at our home. I sighed. This is not what I envisioned in our new old home. He put his arm around me. I know. I leaned into him. His arms felt good, solid, reassuring. I'm sorry. Why? Did you put the dead body there? I love it. I love that. I'm sorry. This is her husband, and she says, why did you put the dead body there? I pulled back and whacked him. Or maybe he said that. I get confused on who's talking. I pulled back and whacked him in the stomach. Ew, that hurt. No, you dork. I mean, I'm sorry that this house has been a constant source of work ever since we moved in. Yeah, but I'm not having to do any work on this particular problem, he said, smiling. I get to gawk like the kids. The kids, after we'd assured Sophie and Grace that the dead body was not, in fact, Santa Claus, the hysteria had died down a little. There were still nervous whispers and anxious looks, but the screaming had stopped. All 4 of them were in the living room, their noses plastered to the windows, watching the police outside our home. I watched them for a minute, then dug the mop out of the broom closet and stuck it in the sink. The entire tile floor was flaked with mud and snow. You know what I mean, I said, returning to our conversation. Yeah, I do, and it's fine, he said. He leaned against the counter and sipped his coffee. Just think of this as a little more cleaning. I glared at him. Not. I attacked the floor, gliding the mop across the tiled surface. Muffled voices echoed beneath the kitchen, but I couldn't make out any of the words. I assured someone besides Ted had made his or her way. I assumed someone besides Ted had made his or her way inside the coal chute. A shudder rippled through me. I wondered how long the body had been in there. I wondered what condition it was in. I wondered who it was and who'd put it there. I wondered a lot of things. A sharp knock on the kitchen door snapped me out of my thoughts. Jake pushed off the counter and reached for the doorknob. A short, wide woman with a snowy white crew cut wiped her boots hard on the mat outside the door. Her cheeks were pink and her hard blue eyes looked first at Jake, then me. She looked like an aging Susan Powter. Powter, Powter. "I'm Detective Priscilla Hanburn," she said, her voice thick and raspy as if the collected smoke of years of smoking cigarettes had settled permanently in her throat. I couldn't imagine anyone looking and sounding less like a Priscilla. From the county offices, Jake smiled and motioned her inside. Her eyes darted between the two of us, a sour expression on her face. "You're the homeowners?" "We are," Jake said. "I'm Jake Gardner. This is my wife, Daisy." She didn't offer her hand, just dipped her chin as a curt hello to each of us. She adjusted her belt, hitching up her pants beneath a khaki jacket that looked 2 sizes too big for her. Here we got a body?" Yes," Jake said, clearing his throat. "We were in the crawl space downstairs." "Who found it?" Detective Hanburn asked sharply. Jake and I looked at each other. "I guess I did," I said. I stowed the mop back in the closet and wiped my hands down the front of my jeans. They came away covered in wet dust, and I bit back a sigh. I lifted up the door to the chute. "And why?" she asked, fixing me with a hard stare. "Why did you open the door?" "Because we didn't know there was a door," I explained. I didn't want to say that I'd heard the house had been built by the owners of the first bank of Moose River, and that part of me had thought maybe, just maybe, we might find a secret tunnel leading to some long-forgotten vault. The pipe was frozen, and it was the first time we'd ever gone into the space, so we hadn't seen it before. She started to say something, but something caught her eye in the living room. "The kids." She stared again for a long moment, as if each one of them were a suspect. "Those your kids?" "Yes," I said, a little defensively. "All 4 of them." "4?" she asked incredulously. I don't say that word right, sorry y'all. Incredulously? How do y'all say that? Like y'all can say it and tell me. Well, that last word, I say incredulously. Incredulously. I still don't know if that's right. Okay, you lose a bet or something? She talking about the kids? Some people. Jake shot me a warning look. Yeah. Jake shot me a warning look, and I took a deep breath. No, we like kids. Well, I like cats too. But I've got 3 of them, and that's 1 too many, she said, shaking her head. Can't imagine feeding and taking care of 4. I wasn't clear on whether or not she thought our kids actually were cats or what she was getting at. She refocused. Did you know the deceased? We haven't even seen the deceased, I said, other than his shoes. So you did not put the body down there? No, I said, bristling at the idea. We did not. I was asking just you, ma'am, Hanburn said, raising an eyebrow. No, I repeated. I folded my arms across my chest. I did not. Okay. We'll see about that then. Her voice told me everything I needed to know. She didn't believe a word I'd said. Gotta go outside now and help them pull the body out, she said. Don't go anywhere. It's our house, Jake pointed out. We're not going anywhere. Right, the detective said. She glanced into the living room again. 4. Wow. Just wow. She turned on her heel and headed back outside, pulling the door closed behind her. I'm going to buy a massive litter box, Jake said. Should cut down on the need for the toilet for them, since we only have one. Oh, this thing's not working. Pretty sure litter is more expensive than toilet paper, he chuckled. Maybe, but we could always try. I peered out the kitchen window. Priscilla Hanburn joined the group of officers who'd gathered in our backyard. She said something to them, then stomped toward the back door, the officers trailing behind her. She was interesting. I chose my... hang on. Gotta get the baby her waking up. Oh, did you have a good nap? Did you have a good nap? Did Granny wake you up reading the book? Did you hear Granny reading the book? And it woke you up. And it woke you up. Did it? Go back there. Say hello, everybody. Say hello, everybody. Sit back down. Hey, Granny, get over here. Get back in my chair. Ah, there we go. There we go. Alright, let's see if we can finish reading. Okay. Thank you. Chose my words carefully, trying to be diplomatic. I say that word wrong too. Y'all find I say a lot of words wrong. She seems intense and slightly insane, Jake said, standing behind me to get a look outside as well. I'm glad you did not put that body down there. Be careful, or they'll come back and find yours, he chuckled, and I slipped away. I opened one of the whitewashed cupboards. Isn't that funny? Pulling a mug out for myself, I poured coffee and added a generous splash of creamer and brought the steaming cup to my lips. Ah ha ha, and I kissed your lips. Ha 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 ha. Please, Jake said, who would unfreeze your pipes if you killed me? That was funny, huh? Yeah, that was funny. Blah, 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 blah. Let me get her fixed. Let's get whoop, and then we get a phone call. We'll be back. Y'all hang on. Okay, we're back. We had to answer our phone call. Get turned back around here now. Okay, added a generous, I can't say that word right either, splash of creamer and brought the steaming cup to my lips. Please, Jake said, who would unfreeze your pipes if you killed me? Oh. Okay. According to you, no one. He lifted his eyebrows. Are you trying to read it with me? Huh? Are you trying to read it with me? We've had this conversation, but I was talking... Alright, we've had this conversation, but I was talking about your other... I don't know what they're supposed to talk about here. Your other pipes. The ones under the sink. Where are you going? Get back up here. We gotta finish reading our book. Alright. I glanced at the offending appliance. It was decidedly newer than the house, but the stainless steel sink and cupboard combination still dated from the 1950s. I love you, child. It was a little rusted, and one of the doors didn't latch properly, but I didn't care. Like so many of the other quirky features in this house, I loved it completely. Oh, I grinned. You need to be still. You need to be still so I can read my book to everybody. Everybody wants to hear the story. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Alright, let's finish it. We should be getting pretty close to the end of the chapter, hopefully. So it says, good point. Do you have some value? He shot me a look and I bit back a smile. He was pretty good at, you're gonna fall. Hang on, Gracie. No, no, no. You want to get down and go play? Okay. Go play with your toys. Go play with your toys. Go get your blocks. Go get your blocks over there. Take your blocks. It's okay. Go get your blocks. Go get them. Go get your blocks. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Okay. He shot me a look and I bit back a smile. He was pretty good at unfreezing all my pipes and he knew it. I cradled my cup of coffee and we both watched as Detective Hanburn pointed fingers and barked instructions to the crowd gathered in our snow-filled backyard. There was a team of police officers as well as a small group of people in plain clothes. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. All right, here we go. Let's see. Get back over there, right? Get back over there, right? Thank you. He's following his... I'm not looking over there, I'm looking at you. I wasn't looking over there, I was looking at you. This phone won't do right. Okay. I couldn't tell if they were detectives or people from the coroner's office or what. A couple of them bounced on their heels, their arms wrapped around themselves, trying to stay warm in the sub-zero temperatures. After about 10 minutes, the entire herd of them backed up. I looked away just as I saw several men come around the side of the house carrying a long sheet-covered board with tennis shoes sticking out of it. I don't want to see, I said, whirling around and staring at the doorway that led into the dining room. Hang on, I gotta get her fixed again, and I'm hitting the table back here. Let's get my hair out of the way. Yep. I love you. I love you. Okay. Oh. For some reason the words go away. Now where am I at here? Dining room. The kids had scattered from their vantage point. They couldn't see much of anything and had probably gotten bored. No. 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 Or scared. Jake smiled. Well, he's mostly covered by a sheet. So you're in luck. You won't really see anything. You're morbid. Yep, he turned back around so he was facing the window. I craned my neck just a little. Can I what? See anything? I see the body under the sheet. You're not very helpful unless I'm unfreezing a pipe, he reminded me. What? What? Okay, let's do this again. Another knock on the door caused me to jump. Jake chuckled and opened it to find another officer asking us if we'd mind stepping outside for a moment. Per Detective Hanburn's request, we pulled on our jackets and boots and waded out into the cold. Hanburn stood in ankle-deep snow, her arms folded across her chest and a frown on her wide face. I'd like you both to take a look here, she said, her eyes flitting between each of us. Just let us know if you might recognize or know the deceased. My stomach lurched at the idea. of looking at a dead body, but I didn't think we had a choice. We followed Henburn to what looked like an ambulance. She gestured at the two guys in the ambulance near the opposite end of the sheet. They pulled it back gently. It was definitely a man, brown eyes, early 40s, a well-trimmed beard. His skin was close to white around the beard, and his mouth was half opened, like he'd been caught by surprise. I leaned in closer, and my mouth dropped open, mirroring the dead man's expression. Okay. Never seen him, Jake said, shaking his head. Henburn nodded slowly, then looked at me. And you, ma'am? Oh, your nails just scratched me. Ow, that hurt. That hurt. Woo, Mama needs to cut your fingernails. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Alright, we're gonna get there, everybody. Be just a little patient. Be just a little patient. These videos lately should be very interesting, shouldn't they? Yep. Nah, blah, blah, blah. I know it. What you gonna say about it? I know it. Okay, let's see if we can finish this. Let's see if we can finish this. What do you see? It ain't nothing but white with black words. And you can't read yet. Are you playing like you're reading it? Are you reading it to him? Huh? You reading it to him? Okay. And you, ma'am? I tried to speak, but nothing came out. I took a deep breath and swallowed, trying as much to find my voice as to steady my nerves. My heart hammered out of control, and my stomach tightened into a coil of knots. Mrs. Gardner. Who is Mrs. Gardner? Who's talking? I'm confused. Because it's a question. It's like she's asking Mrs. Gardner. Okay, maybe that's her last name. Detective's Henburn was like razors. I ain't understanding. Savage, Jake corrected. Daisy Savage. Okay, that's their last name. No, don't pull those out. So what it is, and I'm probably confusing y'all. So the detective, I think, is saying Mrs. Gardner. Detective's Henburn was like razors. I don't know what it means by that. And why does it say detectives? Gracie, don't mess with that, baby. Please, I'm trying to figure this out, y'all. Mrs. Gardner, Detective's Henburn was like razors. Savage, Jake corrected. Daisy Savage. She didn't take my last name. I blinked a couple of times and looked at both of them like I was seeing them for the first time. Do you recognize him? Henburn asked again, her tone cold and deliberate. Yes, I croaked, forcing the words out. I recognize him. And that's the end of the chapter. What? Chapter 5. So, Daisy knows who the dead man is. I wonder who it is. Interesting. Okay, I'm so sorry about all the interruptions, but we made it. So, now, we'll do this chapter 5 whenever we can. I'm sorry about this taking so long. I'm out of here until next time. I'm done. I'm gone. Toodle-doo.